Hello everybody all over the world! Welcome to HiGPS 368, the balance mod, a Bonesaw, which is a weapon that we have been going through a few iterations of before finding something that is, you know, pretty okay to use for us. So we've been through a lot of different iterations of, you know, this weapon. Well, not this one, but this weapon right here. So in the official game, this one really serves no purpose at all, because we have, you know, the Bonesaw, which is just the best unlock period, and there's really no reason to wait. Okay, so wait, hold on. You can't see the game, can you? Oh, isn't that just stupid of me? Let's see. There we go. Yes. So in the official game, this is, if you look at any tier list, this is like the go-to weapon for all medic mains, like most of the time. And also the Bonesaw isn't really used at all because it really doesn't serve any purpose. So what we've done in the balance mod, if you go to balancemod.tf, we have this page called modded weapons here. This is where I am now. You can click here and we can click here. So this is the latest change. So we've added bleed for 4 seconds. On kill, it drops a small health pack, and then you have more healing from health packs. So normally, health would heal, or small health packs will heal. Let me just demonstrate that for you. So if we spawn a small health kit and a medium health kit, and then I just hurt myself, you can see that this one heals 30 and this one heals 75. So if we then go to the Bonesaw, of course, you can see now that if you hit people, they will bleed for a little bit. Not enough to kill someone, but then you see it drops a health pack, and then we get, well, now he got it, but now you see here we get 45. All right, and then a medium will be 112 if I remember correctly. So this is a medium health kit, and you can see it's 112. And this is passive, by the way. You don't need to be holding the weapon to get this buff. And also, the kill also applies to other weapons. So of course I choose the target here, but you can see the medic dice drops this, and also if we use like any of the other syringe guns, you can see that it will drop this. So what we've done is that we've effectively given this weapon a lot more merit. And the reason I'm kind of offset here, people that were in the stream earlier knows that I have this kind of like triangle thing of medic, which I'm going to be talking more about in the future video. But basically, medic is all about these three things. It's about healing, it's about building Uber, and surviving. Not for yourself, but also for your team, right? And all of these are interconnected. Like, all of these are depend on each other, because if you heal, you survive, and when you heal, you build Uber. And when you're Ubering, you're also healing them while Ubering, and you're also surviving. So using an Uber helps you survive, which helps you to heal, because if you're alive, you can heal, and if you heal, you build Uber, and if you Uber, you survive, and if you heal, you also survive. Right? So all of these things are ultra connected to the medic, and it's super, super important. It really defines the class. And then in the official game, none of these things do any of that. So that's why you have sort of this loadout. With this one, heals, you know, which helps to survive, and it also builds Uber. And then you have this thing that just kind of builds Uber. So right now, we're putting more emphasis on the survival aspect of the Bonesaw, and we're going to take a look at that today. And also, after I said that we were going to cover this video, or cover this item, we changed it a little bit. So the first video is going to be from the previous design, which had like a 10-second bleed and heal on hit and drop the health pack and did more damage. It was just like, it did these things, but it was just incredibly powerful compared to like what a medic should be. So that's why we got this nerf, and I think like this health pack thing is really good. Didn't get too many examples of it today regarding the teamwork of heavy, but that means like heavies can now use you know, banana and fish cake and all that other stuff a lot more without perma-running the sandwich. And also, of course, it buffs the sandwich in addition as well. So yeah, this is of course the balance mod, the mod that I am making. We're rebalancing the game to be better. So this is kind of the new stats we've been trying out, and it seems to be working okay. All right, so here we have Karma's camera. Hope you have. I hope there's audio. Yes, there we go. So he's just going to be playing here on one of the creators maps a while back. So this is the old design, right? And also this applies to all the melee unlocks. So this is the Bonesaw, of course. This is the all class. So he hits the engineer and then he heals 4, plus he has the passive regen and he heals. You can see he ticks up a lot of health just from one hit, and then the other guy dies to the bleed. So this was kind of a bit too powerful compared to the commitment from the medic had to make, right? So we're going to be seeing this a lot more in the future as well. Because in this iteration, it didn't have the additional health on... Wait, hold on. Wait, I got to fix this. Everyone's just on skates. Remember this. Triangle. Yes, there we go. So yeah, it goes in, gets a kill, and people are still on skates. So, okay, maybe it's because this is an older version of TF2, and maybe that's why it's like bugged and stuff. Anyway, you can see here that, of course, running the... He also hits the scalp, it didn't really matter at that point. So I'm just gonna fast forward until we get a little later here, because he's just gonna go on like a medic role, because the other team isn't really that good. And he's just doing the medic basics, which I'll be talking about later. We bring a spy, of course. And then you can see it drops a health pack, in addition to giving you 4 health on each hit. So no health on kill. And then they just go in here and just absolutely destroy. And eventually, hanging around the enemy spawn, it's gonna force people to go to the cart. So here, goes in, gets a kill on this heavy, drops a health pack, right? And then he's gonna be hanging around on the cart. Hits this demo man. Look at all the health he's just getting. And then, of course, oh, I killed someone, just gonna pick this up. And then go it over here. So this wasn't really a good showcase of just how insanely powerful the weapon is, because they would have won regardless of what they did there. But the principle is still the same, that it was a lot of damage, because it was like 15 in addition to bleed, that lasted for like 10 seconds, and you healed for every tick. So it was kind of like the design behind that was kind of like an active amputator. But that sort of goes against the design in the mod that we have, that we shouldn't have weapons that's just like different versions of the same weapon. So instead of being a passive amputator, it become like an active amputator, not kind of like its own thing, right? So let's get into it. So we didn't get that was the submissions that we got. I mean, that was it. People were not too keen on testing this weapon for an extended period of time. So just gonna go in and show you a game here that we played, I think it was yesterday, where it actually comes into play of its downsides and upsides. So keep in mind that we haven't touched the Ubersaw. The Ubersaw is still as good as the Ubersaw ever was. So we're just doing a bit of a push here, healing our heavy, who just keeps going forward with, of course, the buffed brass beast as well. So what you gotta keep in mind when you're using the Bonesaw for the medic in the balance mod is that you really, really want to get value out of the health packs. And also the design with the bleed helps you track down spies that you manage to land a hit on. So then we have Pancake here, who just found out that the stake in the balance mod is really good. So look here, we're just gonna grab this, get 45 health instead of 30, which is actually quite substantial. And then, of course, it didn't really matter at that point, but we still haven't been in a situation where we could have used the Bonesaw to hit anyone, or if maybe, Ubersaw would have been better, because, 25% Uber per hit is pretty gosh darn good. So we're still just pushing forward here, just healing the medic, staying in the back while the cart moves forward, keeping everybody overhealed, of course. Pro tip, heal those who are coming from spawn, because you heal them 3 times faster, so you get a lot more healing out of your time. So here we have Pancake again, who just goes up and just punches people. And then he sort of just kind of leaves the soldier, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll finish you off. I'll ham you, yeah, because, that's the Bonesaw, and drops a health pack, killed him. Could have gotten 25% Uber. Did it matter? A little bit. Like here, I would have gotten maybe 50% Uber off of that engage, right? So let's assume I'm at like 75, so when I was at 25 now, I would probably have Uber, right? So now I would have had Uber, and I would still be alive, but you can see that there isn't really a lot to use the Uber for. So maybe use the Uber here, but you can see that even without the Uber that I potentially would have had, we're still just pushing forward. And also trying to melee bushwhacker snipers isn't the best idea. So it definitely would have gone differently if I had the Uber saw. But look at this. I am super low on health, so the Uber would have definitely faded at this point. So here, going up, just grabbing this, 112 health is a lot, because, you know, keep medium health packs heals half of your health. So having more than that is pretty good. And then, of course, the card's still moving forward, and we haven't really hit a wall, so far so good. We've gotten some value out of the Bonesaw, but we also seen some hurting of not having the Uber saw. That's probably the most important takeaway from this, is that the difference in, you know, Uber output is different. But I've been able to survive more, potentially. But there also isn't like a huge amount of pressure being applied to me just yet. So, still, cart just moving forward. Of course, this is kind of a roll, so like the enemy team isn't really able to kind of maintain an active defense as we're kind of just going around. So here I think like, okay, bad kick, we're just going to go up here, and he's probably going to go and grab this health pack to refill his stake, and then we're going to do it again. But he's like, nah, dude, I'm going to go here. And then, all right, fine, we'll force to use an Uber. And then maybe we'll get the sentry. Gonna get this health back. It didn't really matter because I wasn't below half health. And this heavy is going to die here. So here we have a battle. So I'm hitting in this other medic with Uber Saw. So I hit him, so he's bleeding. He misses the second one. Kind of a scrappy fight here. But I do get the kill on him, and he drops the health back. Gets 45 health. There's a sniper. Shoot him with the arrows. And then hit him, because I can't take a hit, and then just heal up nicely. So there, I got a lot of value out of the Bonesaw, just because A, bleeds, so I can like hit them and back off a little bit and do a bit more damage, and also I get the health back, which then also gives me more health if I'm able to pick it up. But the downside is, of course, that sometimes enemies can, you know, pick up the health pack that you drop, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword here. And it also works for, you know, your other weapons, such as crossbow and stuff, so it's really helps you survive if you can land the kill. Probably wouldn't have survived as well if I used the Uber Saw, because the Uber Saw swings slower. So this one swings faster, and it's like, you know, bleed, which is pretty good. Bleed, like I said, primarily there for spy. So you can see that right now, it's really helping the survive aspect more than like usually it's like the Uber Saw is primarily this, right? It's just Uber, which then helps you. But this is like the survive part, so you won't die as easy, but you can stay in the fight, but you won't get Uber. So that's kind of the trade-off, right? What you have to go for. So kind of makes more sense to use the Bonesaw with maybe like Kritzkrieg or other miniguns where you don't take as long to build, I'd say. Yes, okay, oh, that was the wrong one. Sorry, so we're gonna go into the next one and see a bit more just how this plays and affects it. Because since it's passive, you're gonna be using this a lot. And even though we didn't get a lot of heavy throwing you sandwiches for you to use this time around, it's not hard to see that you could actually get a lot of mileage out of this. Oh my god, what did I do? Yes, there we go. Cool. So, this is on Databank, this is one of the more better custom maps that I like. So here we're running Kritzkrieg, so it builds a lot faster, and I'm gonna run into this demo man and hit him, and he's gonna die, not to me, so no health back dropped. So there we go, gonna go run forward here, just trying to, yeah, shooting an arrow here. Didn't really see what came around, but it's a cameo, Pancop! And that was it. That was literally it. That was just a cameo from Pancop, and it's so rare that I genuinely die to this strategy, so good work there by our donator, Brave Conscript, for going ham, or going pan, pretty much. So, checking Facebook, of course, you know, and then back on normal Uber. And then just healing this. We have some new players, of course, that's just using things incorrectly. Of course, sandwiches being pretty good, and also Power Jack Pyros are a priority, because, you know, they have basically crit heal all the time whenever the Power Jack is out, thanks to the balance mod. So here, we're still trying to push forward. We managed to get a big group here. Everybody's just getting tons of overheal and should be going together here. Just trying to gain some ground here and bully the other team out. So you can see here, just kind of distributing the health. Looking at those with low health, healing the guys in front. And yeah, there we go. We're gonna have Uber here, so probably gonna just go in and see what we can do to get the point. My main target dies, I get pressured, pop the Uber, there you go. We just have a lot of presence on this point here. And yeah, we cleared the point, and it looks like we're gonna get it, so that was an Uber well spent. I mean, if you have it, use it. Then people just gonna need to be on the point. So far we haven't really seen too much difference in using the Bonesaw here, but here there's a little health pack that spawns right to, like on this little spot here, so it's going to be spawning fairly soon. And then I get the health pack, still not at full health, but you know, having those additional healing points definitely helps, as you will be allowed to survive more faster. So just kind of healing the team. Healing everyone. Not sure why he opened up the flank there, so our heavy's gonna die and grab the health. And somehow surviving that and be like, oh shit, I'm dead. What? I have Uber. Yeah, get him. Oh shit. So, I mean, we survived and we used the Uber, but it didn't really go anywhere, right? So we did all that aspect. We got so much value out of the Bonesaw there. Like, we survived, we have the Uber, we did the push, but we still just lost because there wasn't enough follow-up from our team. So there's that. So that was some good value, of course. Still on Databank. Still against the same team. Another round. Needless to say, we lost the previous one. There we go. Taking a forward position here. This heavy here is serving as a feeder, of course. The spy here, which you're going to be seeing probably more of. Yeah, that Carter-Gator. Pretty new member to the crew, I think. He's also a fairly decent spy. Gonna see him doing some big brain plays later, which I'm sure was completely not intentional, but we're gonna say that they are. So, of course, when you're a medic, I would say the biggest mistake a lot of medics make is that they pay attention to what the enemy is doing. And you kind of need to pay more attention to your teammates than your enemies, because your teammates are supposed to take care of the enemies, right? So you don't have to look at that too, because you can't really do much about it. So we're just staying in the back here, just holding on to pocketing our Uber for a little bit, just waiting to use it for the opportune time. And then managing to Uber this heavy at 1 health. Of course, Montezo is using the healing heater, which drains ammo a lot quicker. Of course, he knows this, so he has perfect ammo control. It says as he dies, but he did get some kills. And then Pyro's on my ass, healing up, shooting him with this, hit him. He's bleeding. And then going back. Oh, Pyro took the health back. Well, we shoot the Pyro dies, grab the health back, yes. And then we took some more damage, and then, oh! Just perfect timing on grabbing that. Just as the gas hit us, we were able to grab the health back and get the most value, and then a spy. After all that, a spy just calls and be like, no! Just stabs you immediately. But getting in certain situations like that, it's better to just kind of camp around the medium health pack until you take the hit, and then grab it, because you get like, 112 health, which is, more than a rocket. So you can basically, like, if you have more than 104 health, you can eat a rocket, pick up the health pack, and you're basically negating the soldier's rocket when doing so. And it's really good for the survival part, except for when a spy stabs you, because he doesn't care about health, right? Cool. Alright, so this is another example of we're using it, but it doesn't matter. And that is in cases where, let's say you're picking up a medium or a small health pack and you don't need more than 30 health. You have 30 health or less. Or you're picking up a medium and you have, you're not lacking more than 75 health. So that's kind of the thing here. So Kritzkrieg on defense, when you have a lot of power classes, this can be a pretty good choice. Makes sense, because you'll be able to Kritzkrieg faster. Just giving heals to everybody. Snipers need heals too. And then, of course, my arrow's not on point. Teammates literally dying around me, but managing to land that arrow. So we soon have the Kritzkrieg. Robson knows this. Of course, he will be continuing to shoot his rockets and not reloading fully. To much of my annoyance, which a lot of people do that when they're just not reloading. So I'm here with the demo man. And then we decide, fuck it, just go, he's shooting. Let's see if we can get something. And we get 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills, and we're still holding. So with the Kritzkrieg, that's pretty good. I'm not sure if he got a medic or not, but if he had gotten the medic, we can use this to kind of chain our advantage. That's what important with the Kritzkrieg when you go in, is that you don't die afterwards, that you survive, which is why we have the Bonesaw, which will help us do that. So we're just kind of hanging around here inside. Oh, a lot of pressure being applied, and here, look at this. We're breaking up the health back, but we get 50, which is not more than 75. So at that point, didn't really matter that we had the Bonesaw. Didn't really, but now we're below 75 health. But now we're down again. We kind of just have to hide back here. And then, yeah, there we go. Now it mattered. We got our health back, but you can see that there's not any pressure being applied to us. We're not taking damage. There's only like this spy there, and we've been left alone. So we would have regenerated this regardless. But here's the thing, we don't know that, right? You don't know. It's a game of missing information. You don't know what the enemy's gonna do or when they're gonna do it all the time. So this is more than safe than sorry kind of measure. Better safe than sorry kind of measure. So gonna be assisting Robson here and then kind of leaving him to die here as I try to heal Pancake, who has been low on health for a long time. Here we meet the spy, and we're gonna watch the ultimate
teamwork.
Yes, I hit the wrong button, but that was teamwork. Bullying the spy away. Enemies are pushing, and then we kind of just have to back off there. Kind of go to our heavy. It's gonna serve as our living meat shield. While we are just kind of hanging out in the back. Healing up. Keep in mind that if you switch to the crossbow instead of just healing normally, you will build Uber slower. And also, yeah, like people are saying in the chat, this we're playing on servers that don't have random crits, so you know, Kritzkrieg is especially good. So here we go with the Kritzkrieg going in. Doesn't look like our demo man is finding much here. He's about to die, so yes, and there he dies. But our heavy was able to pick up a couple of kills. And then just trying to keep these guys alive. Maybe in this situation, Amputator would have been a good choice, because it's also buffed here, because you can cancel out of the animation. But the enemy team comes in with an Uber, so we wouldn't have been able to contest that much anyway. And with the Dragon's Fury reduced air blast, there's not much that Pyro could really do to stop their advance since they came around so quickly. Still, we're just kind of hanging out here, back in the base. Teammates are in the front, just soaking up damage. And now we have Kritzkrieg again, and witness this. So I'm actually going to go into drive here. I'm going to see exactly what he does. So I'm actually way behind here, but look at this. Look at this beauty. Oh, triple kill. Boop, 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 boop. FP. Freaking triple kill with a dart hit. That is so hard to do. And that was pretty good. Yes, got a lot of value out of that one. And then we're just kind of scurrying back. So that was a triple, baby. And then we kind of just have to get out of here. You can see it. People are putting on pressure, going back with our medic, and surviving. So, still, you can see that we've kind of chaining Kritzkrieg back to back. So, in situations like these where you're able to use the Kritzkrieg, survive, continue building, and you're still holding the front, just keep using the Kritzkrieg. But the spy is going to get the heavy. No, he just turns around. That heavy's on point, man. Like, after you play heavy a lot, you kind of get this sort of, and same as sniper, you get like this spy sense, right? Like, oh, it's been this amount of time since I haven't gotten stabbed. Better check my back. And what do you know? There's a spy there. So I haven't really seen too much spies this game, but I don't really need to check my back that much. That's also like a thing when it comes to spies, right? It's like this, if you haven't gotten any stabs, it's easier to get a stab than if you are getting consistent stabs. So spy isn't really something that you can run like permanently and expect a consistent success. Not like we're finding with the Kritzkrieg with the teammates. So we're just kind of hanging out here, back in the base. Teammates are in the front, just soaking up damage. And now we have Kritzkrieg again, and witness this. So I'm actually going to go into drive here. I'm going to see exactly what he does. So So, securing my route, just staying back here. We can see that, you know, right now, having the Bonesaw or Ubersaw hasn't really made any difference in how we're playing. And there hasn't really been any situations where I would have gone for an Ubersaw hit just to get more Uber. So in this sense, it makes sense. Like my teammates are taking damage, I'm staying close to the health pack in case something happens. And it's working out pretty well. I mean, the enemy team is pushing forward. Team's a bit low. I should probably have arrowed that guy, but now that I have this, we're gonna see what I would call the least. Like so. Here's the thing, right? Okay, this is a question for you. Oh shit! Did I forget to put the? Yeah, I forgot the overlay. People can steal my footage on YouTube now. So here's the thing, right? So we have Robson here just using his conch, and we have crits ready to go. So which way is the most optimal way to push into the attackers with this combo? Keep in mind you can move faster. So here's I'll give you the layout of the land, right? So here it is. So where do we go? Do we go here? Or do we go here? Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. What is the most optimal route? And the optimal route is, of course, to run across the sniper sightlines so that you can maybe disconnect the medic from the payload and get sniped and then just die. So, frickin' this part failed here, right? Because the Uber didn't keep us alive. Had we had normal Uber, we would have lived. So that wasn't, not the brightest moment, I'd say. I would say hug the wall and pre-fire rockets when you have this. All right, so we're still defending, and I'm still on the Chris Grig because it seems to be working here. Kind of stuck, disconnected from the rest of our team. Still running the Bonesaw, of course, and just gonna bully this heavy here. Just shoot him. I did some damage. Sometimes it's worth pulling out the crossbow to just help your team doing some additional damage. Goes against sentries and stuff. Like if the person you're going to be healing isn't going to be taking any substantial damage, you can sacrifice some healing to do a little bit of support damage to maybe get something done. Because the crossbow does surprising amount of damage. So I'm just trying to find some teammates I can use for the crits here, also while healing up my teammates. It's not like, you know, that pub medic who is healing his best friends or the girlfriend or whatever, and everyone else is just invisible. But I'm going to give it to Scheifus because he has sticks, and I'm going to give him everything, and he's been finding value before. You can see he's finding value again here. Getting triple kills, and I missed disconnect there, so he dies, and then, of course, battling the sniper. So keep in mind that in the balance mod, snipers can't one-shot quickscope you anymore. That means if I'm at full health and he headshots me, I don't die instantly, which is a huge deal. Here, this is why I can be like kind of greedy and just kind of bother him. However, if he shoots me and anyone else does like, you know, 10 health on me, I die. So it's kind of like a 50-50 in that point. Like, is the medic at full health? Is he lacking 10 health? Did someone else did he get graced by something? You don't know. So we back out, continue to build that Kritzkrieg while our teammates are poking and prodding. Of course, if you poke and prod by yourself, chances of getting sniped, especially here, is quite high. But of course, this is Barn Blitz last, so as long as the red team is somewhat competent, blue team is never ever going to get this. So I give Skriffers crits once again, and he's getting some values, picking up some players, dying. Then I have to give the remaining to and then, of course, just shooting these arrows on the sniper. Of course, Tarkus being a pretty good sniper, so doing that is always risky, but you can see I have overheal. Clear out this little path here, and so far so good. Just shooting down there, just kind of don't really have to commit much. And then healing Kamikaze Scotsman, who literally plays Caber. Yeah, that's literally what he does. He has the Caber, and then he charges in and hit people, and it goes boom, and he kills stuff. That is his whole shtick. It's kind of like the NPC that just kind of wanders around the same place. So there we go. Airstrike soldier finds nothing. Uber coming in. Nothing we can contest there. You kind of just have to survive. There's Skriffers. If you had jumped, pushback would probably have saved you. And once again, we see that Bonesaw in this case, or Ubersaw, probably here. Ubersaw would have been great here. We would have a lot more Uber because we didn't die to that demo man. He also killed himself, so he dropped no health pack. So that's a downer for the Bonesaw. Especially in the situations where it's like, you know, 5v1. It's like, well, he literally can't kill me in the time it takes to swing a melee. So still just hanging out here, crits going in. Oh, look, okay, so the counter to crits is just to kill him at any point in time. Who would have knew? So that was a wasted crits, went freaking nowhere. And we're still just kind of hanging out here. Still bullying the Kritzkrieg, they have Uber. Picking up health back. Kind of mattered there, but the medic is still healing us, so kind of not mattered. And we're still holding up here. Blue team seems to be struggling to find a way in. We haven't really seen that much Ubers or much ground taken. And now this guy's gonna have Kritzkrieg ready again. So of course, if it is working, I'm gonna do it with him and probably combine it with this. Well, he's dead. Then going in here with Robson, who just manages to slaughter everything that was there, or a little bit. We can also see that. Oh, he dies. The one that slaughtered everything was the heavy. That happened off camera. And yeah. And overextending, of course, not getting the kill. And here's the thing about the sniper, right? So this is some good zoning using the SMG because there's no reason to commit to a quickscope when that doesn't kill me. So he's taking me down to 75 health, but then we go whoop, back to full health, 1 health more. And then we get the kill on him and we survive. And dominating the sniper as a medic when you get the kill feels so good. Suck on that, Tarkus. Scrub lord from Finland. And of course, we've been able to push back here because the blue team isn't doing that hot, to be honest. I mean, we could probably run whatever and it would work. But we do have another crits here. Skiffus is in position, reloading. There we go. Kritzkrieg coming in. Sees the soldier, who should really just go for the medic. But here's the thing when it comes to Kritzkrieg, right? And then I see, oh, sniper, shit. Well, I'm not going to be engaging that. We're just going to try and stick you up the spawn there. And the sniper, yeah, I can see, like, he's going up there. And this is what we call the dumbest play you could possibly. It was like, 2 soldiers. None of them have seen me, but there's a sniper that I am dominating. And he can't kill me with a quickscope. Welcome to the balance mod, motherfucker! And then I die right after. Quickscope nerf with the happy face in the chat. Sweaty sniper means, GPS, you're ruining the game. Like, I died shortly after. We basically ran into their spawn, survived, ran back, and then died. But that just goes to show you, like, the change in interactions combined with the Bonesaw there. Like, I don't need Uber. I wouldn't need that. Ideally, soldiers wouldn't have seen me, and then I would have survived and escaped. Yeah. Cool. So, it's also one thing to keep in mind when you're playing medic is that okay, don't die to quickscopes anymore if you're full health. All right. So this one is titled "Could have been in trouble if the enemy was competent," which is kind of the whole thing with TF2 in general. I mean, if the enemy team is bad, you know, anything's gonna work if you're, you know, slightly competent in what they're doing. So we're just kind of pushing through here on Gorge on attack, getting ready here. So just healing up everybody. Not want to commit too much right now because we don't have too much Uber, so just going to heal those in front and take a bit of a backward position here and just heal people around the health pack and just going to stay here while we build the Uber. Just kind of waiting, giving it to Captain Red. Fairly decent player as well. We've got Cynex joining in. Healing, of course, the snipers. Taking some damage. And we have an Uber, well, we have 2 Ubers ready to go here, so let's see here. See how this plays out. So right now I'm just waiting for someone to take the initiative. Like, I have 100% Uber, whoever goes in first gets it. Pyro Heavy doesn't matter. So here we go, Heavy with the Natasha, gonna be able to cover a lot of ground. Also the other Uber was used, so I'm just flashing the medic in case that he dies or something. He's also using the Pan. We have a small health pack on the ground there because Brave Conscript managed to get a kill in. Oh shit! Oh, good thing I survived that. And then heal is heavy, and look at that. Oh shit, oh well, I'm not even gonna engage. I'm just gonna grab this a bit full health. And this engineer could probably have done some damage if he had managed to land the shots, but there was a sandwich right next to me. So already there, by the heavy throwing the stake, I have literally like 100 or 224 health that I can just be like, pick up with this weapon, which is pretty insane. Yeah, so the Natasha in the balance mod with the speed boost is also pretty good for pushing with Uber. Yes. So, let me just fast forward here I forgot to do that in the previous one, so let me just fast forward the demo to show you the important part. So basically we've been owning the blue team at their spawn for 3 minutes and 45 seconds, basically with them being unable to push out. But then they just get an Uber and they just kind of attack whenever and it works. So going back here, we can see that this pyro is coming in. And here's one thing that pyros don't really expect. When the medic is being pressured, they don't expect you to pull out a pan and just fucking whack him. And then he dies, drops a health back for anyone that might want it. TF2 on ice because I kept fast forwarding, but yeah, you get the idea. So sometimes, you know, you do some extra damage, especially in Jarate. Bleed is gonna do 5 instead of 4. So, actually, let me just pause it there for a second and I'm gonna fast forward to the right part so we get the movements, because the next part is some big brain stuff, if I've ever seen it. So here's the recap of whenever we were owning in the beginning, right? You can see here we're just popping crits after crits after crits, and the enemy just literally can't walk out of spawn. So, pretty rough for them, right? And I think right about here, yes, this is where the Uber comes. And then, of course, you've seen this. Pyro comes up, whoop, out with this, bang. Bang, wow. All right. So here, me and my good buddy, Justice, we're going on a flank. You see, I have Kritzkrieg, and we're ready to go. Keep in mind that in all this game, I haven't gotten stabbed once. So there's no reason for, like, we've also held the front lines without there being a single spy pressuring us at any point in time in these, like, almost, you know, 3-4 minutes we've been playing this this first round. So I'm not checking any spies, right? So we go up here, I run in front of Justice, and he just dies to a stab, and it's me versus the spy. So he hits me once, I miss. And then he brings out the pistol. And he's I'm trying to get to the health pack, but he's actually body blocking me. And then he just kind of stabs me. And that's Catographer. And I think that was just such a big brain play, because one, he got the stab on the soldier. He probably would have gotten the stab on me and then the soldier. But there, he got the stab on the soldier, got the health, which means I literally can't kill him in time. And he also was in front of the health pack. So that means if I hurt him, he would have picked up the health pack. So I kind of had to wait for him to hurt me so I could get the health back and then make the transition, but he blocked it so I couldn't get there. So that was really good by the spy. Like if the enemy team is running, you know, Bonesaw and totally banking on like camping around the health pack, you can just body block it. You can just stand in the way because, you know, good spies, they will body block you, and if you try to run around, it's gonna be difficult. And you also had the health, like I could just hit him and he could just tank it and just kill me regardless. So, kunai, pretty powerful, as people saying in the chat. Righto! So, yes. So, this is the part where the game's been going on for a while and we just kept sort of winning. So we have 3 medics, I decided to go Vaccinator. I'm gonna make another video later on exactly how to maximize your usage of the Vaccinator, but the trick is whenever you pop resistance, switch resistance immediately, because resistance is popped and passive resistance doesn't stack. So you're not gonna get like the additional boost and then some. So you're actually missing out on resistances if you're not switching immediately. And also, I don't think the enemy can tell which one you popped first. So it's kind of like a missing information thing you can do. So right now I'm trying to just hit this, this soldier over here, Justice. Yeah, but the medic goes around and heals him. So just kind of going around here. Cindanero, I think he's a fairly new player as well. Just tries to go here. And if this was the older version of this weapon, that soldier would have died. Because I died. And look, he's bleeding. And he's running for the dispenser. And he has 8 health left. And keep in mind the other one did 15% more damage. So that means that fucker that fucker would have died. And what does he do after getting the kill and barely surviving? Of course he's gonna say, lol, lol in the chat, lol. Feels good, man, to fucking barely survive a medic that overextended, you bitch. But that goes to show that like the previous version was probably a bit too good, because in that situation I was overextended, I was playing like a dumbass, I managed to get one hit off, and he shouldn't have died for that. So there's that. Alright, so this is the last one. So now we're on defense. Just giving crits Kriegs to demo so they can crits up everything. Are we on ice again? Yeah, it looks like it. Fine. It's a finale. We could have TF2 on ice. Doesn't really matter. So, just healing everybody. Staying alive. Staying in the back. We now have crits Krieg. Using it with Robsan that shoots rockets, hits nothing. Been doing that all game. Shooting the airstrike and not really getting much. So here, kind of in trouble. So be like, yeah, now it makes sense to go for the health pack. Unless I can just kind of chill at this dispenser. Which is exactly what I'm doing. Just chilling at the dispenser. And of course we have the health pack here, it didn't really matter at that point. So, still defending. Defending with crits Krieg when you have a lot of soldiers and demos. Definitely the way to go. If you don't have that, don't bother. Try regular Uber. Here we go. Skiffus usually gets some value off, but then of course the gas destroys us. But then Robsan finally with some kills there, and I'm like, Cindy, give me the thing! And he's actually using the heavy fists and the panic attack, so he actually doesn't have any sandwich for me. And he doesn't really pay attention to me, so I'm just kind of like, screw it, I'm just gonna hang around the dispenser. Health pack was taken, didn't get any value out of the Bonesaw this time around. But there's a lot of gas being thrown. And once again, the Bonesaw doesn't really matter at this point. And we're still defending fairly well. Crits is about to happen. You know, crits builds pretty quickly. It's important that you share the wealth. Here we go. Crits Krieg is ready. And then it's like, well, someone just takes the initiative. Of course I didn't pay attention, so he died. That was partly my fault. Gonna give it to him, and oh, they have Uber. Well, crits doesn't do much about that. Does it? No, it doesn't. So we're kind of forced to retreat here. And then I'm just gonna do some poking and prodding because I know that there's a health pack here. I'm just gonna use that to heal up and just continue to bother this heavy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna get anything else, so I'm gonna go back to my team and kind of try to hold this area instead. Hit the sniper, of course. Like, the crossbow is just such a good bother the sniper slightly weapon. So you get send an arrow, of course, making good use of the fists, faster reload buff that we recently gave it. So if you're using the fists on heavy or equivalent, like all class, you'll get 20% faster reload speed on all your shotguns as a heavy, which is pretty good. So here, I get knocked down here, right? So time to get value. Oh, almost full health. And we're good, we're good. Of course, if we had gotten the quickscope, we would have died. But we do have more health than we would have if we didn't have the Bonesaw, and we haven't really been in an Uber Saw hit situation here because it's not Uber. So here we go, just, you know, not speed boost Natasha Crits Krieg is also pretty good. I'm just shooting all the arrows, he dies. Trying to predict, not predictable enough for us, and then just falling back. So of course healing everybody, giving them the overheals, trying to build this, using speed pads to run around. Still holding it. Okay. Oh, big attack, watching back for spies, no pressure. Cindy holding the flank, demo jumps in. Lands on a mini sentry, dies to SMG and an Wrangle sentry. Just gonna run up here, heal a bit, see what's up. Go back and assist the team. We got Scriffus here, Demo Man who gets results with crits. Not taking the force there, just gonna go back a bit further. Didn't really have to use it because the blue team isn't. Like, I didn't have to use crits there in order to defend because, you know, we're still defending. So give it to Robsan, who actually forces the enemy Uber. So if we survive this, we're in pretty good shape. Especially since the other medic died. but the Uber medic survived. But we're in the Uber lead. And of course, Captain Red decides to move at the instant he's about to get the heal, which also is super duper annoying. Like, you're not moving, you're standing in the corner, but as I shoot, you're like, yeah, quick little strafe is what I wanted to do. And then, we're still just kind of hanging out. And there we go. Yes. Oh. Still holding. We still have another crit screen. So you can see in this situation, crit screen is really working out for us. We have to use it soon, though. It's just kind of giving everybody the overheals, because I do think we have an Uber advantage. Gonna go with this heavy again, because we have been getting results. You know, Natasha heavy. If he just decides to go when when the fuck ever. And there we go. But oh no. Do you think he noticed the soldier that's on the higher ground that he hasn't noticed? What do you think's gonna happen here? I'm literally just watching the soldier there, and Cindy's like, yeah, I'm a good heavy, I'm just gonna fucking keep shooting here. And the soldier's like, oh, did I hit? What hit me? Is something behind me? And I was like, oh no. And then I tried to, well, I hit the soldier and he kills himself. And oh, my heart bled for that heavy. It bled as much as the bleeding does when you hit someone with the Bonesaw. Didn't get too many examples of it this game, but definitely it helps when Spy fucks up and you manage to get a hit. You can track him for a little bit, which is pretty decent. So we're still holding. You can see that this defense is working great. Like, even though if they get the heavy, they still aren't making enough ground for it to matter that he died. And now we have crits again. So because I'm not really using arrows that much, which means my Uber build rate is pretty gosh darn consistent and quick. Of course, that's a Spy. And he dies. I mean, I hit him, but didn't get much out of that. And then he's like, I got 100 health, fuck yeah, I'll go. And what do you think's gonna happen? Well, he's gonna die. He did get one kill, and then I just kind of have to give it to whoever's left. Pancake. And then this demo. Hit him. And then, oh, shit. Okay, go to the health. I'm burning. Go to the health. Go to the health. And then... surprise, motherfucker! He took my health back, and I'm like, ah, dude, bad demo man? I don't think so, because that's what a good demo man would have done. Yeah. So that was the Balance Mod Bonesaw episode, and I gotta say, it feels pretty good with this thing that we have. It helps you survive a lot more, but in a different way that's different than what other we have. Now, that isn't, like, suffice to say that, you know, we've seen basically these two being used a lot, this one a little bit, but generally this thing isn't getting that much use either, so we'll have to see in the future if we need to do something with that. So, of course, I forgot to check what we're going to be doing for next week, so let me just go ahead and do a quick little check. Let's see, what did we do recently? All right, let's see. Yes, so I think next week we're gonna do, or not next week, but the next time we do the HiGPS, whenever I have time to dedicate to it, I think we're gonna do the current iteration of the Man Melter. I'm not sure if the website is updated correctly. Yes, probably. Whoops. So yeah, a Balance Mod Man Melter. Recently just got a nerf, but yeah, this isn't correct, so might have to update that. But yeah, Balance Mod Man Melter. It's being tweaked a bit more to be a bit better than the regular, or the one that we had before was too good. So now we're putting it down a notch to kind of make it its own thing. We're still trying to figure out exactly how it should work, because it's a bit tricky, because all the other flare guns does such a good job, and this thing just feels weird to use. So yeah, Man Melter time. We also haven't done the W.A.S.P launcher for the soldier, for our creators. Yeah, good point. Let's do that. Let's do the W.A.S.P launcher for creators instead, and then Man Melter next time, so you have more time for the Man Melter than the creator one. So, in case you don't know, Balance Mod works with Creators.tf. So I think the weapon we'll be using next time is for the soldier. You can get this by buying it or doing the contract, but it's basically this rocket launcher right here. So it's basically slower rockets, but larger explosion radius, and it does less damage. So we're gonna say exactly how this plays. It's not like the biggest change or the biggest upset in how a rocket launcher works, but you know, it could have some uses. And if you don't have it, you can just log in to Creators and just do some contracts and get it. It's like, let's see. I think you can even buy it in the store that they have. Let's see. So if we go to soldier and then yeah, there it is, 120. So it's like a less than one contract. And even if you have played this, there's also this campaign, which is why we're still running Halloween events that collects when you have Halloween stuff. So you level up and then you get yeah, basically like if you're level 2, you already have enough stuff to buy the W.A.S.P. And it doesn't have to be just the balance mod. You can play this on regular creator servers if balance mod servers are empty. So you have more time to get it. Cool. Yes. Thank you for watching. There's a raffle link in the description with a few items that we'll be giving away as per usual when we do this. So stick around for that. Next week, W.A.S.P. launcher. Yeah.